you tell me what's going on? Ow! Ow!
Shut the fuck up, dude. Get up.
I don't know what this is for. Please, no!
Everybody believes that police officers uphold the law because they have sworn to do so. But every now and then, some of them forget their oaths and break the law in the most appalling ways. In this video, we will highlight the case of Michael McMaster, a Payne County, Georgia, sheriff deputy who believed his badge gave him the license to commit a crime. This case takes us back to the 4th of March, 2022. In the early morning hours that day, a concerned neighbor calls the police to report a suspicious man in a hoodie and backpack. This person had allegedly been trying to break into a vehicle unsuccessfully. Deputy McMaster responds to the call and arrives near the scene not long after. While observing the vicinity, Deputy McMaster stumbles upon 29-year-old Tyler Canaris, who was strolling casually along the side of the road. Deputy McMaster sees that this person fits that of the carjacker and immediately assumes that he has the right guy. Charging out of the car, Deputy McMaster demands to see the suspect's hands.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. These your hands out of your pockets. Turn up your chains, bud.
Excuse me?
You're being detained, bud. Don't take your backpack off. Take your backpack off.
Excuse me, what am I doing?
Take your backpack off.
Can you explain what this is
Before
for?
you go on the ground, take your backpack off.
I'm going to get picked up for work.
As you can see, there are a couple of things already wrong here. Let me see your hands. Put your hands behind your back. Take your hands out of your pockets. Turn your pockets inside out. These are a bunch of commands that, in quick succession, can be overwhelming to the person receiving them, especially if they are confused as to why they are receiving them in the first place. Of course, there is the obvious fact that Deputy McMaster spotted Tyler just walking down and immediately decided to detain him without any proper explanation as to why. You can also hear Tyler respectfully asking what he did wrong.
Take your backpack off.
Excuse me, what am I doing?
Take your backpack off.
But his requests only end up being muffled by the never-ending demands. At this point, it is important to note that Tyler had every right to politely question the deputy. Asking what he had done wrong is within his constitutional rights. In spite of the unjust treatment, Tyler still offers to tell Deputy McMaster exactly where he is headed. But of course, this was going to fall on deaf ears. Deputy McMaster was convinced that he had his guy, but as you are about to see, this was the least of Tyler's worries. From that point, Deputy McMaster moves Tyler to the front of the police vehicle. He instructs Tyler to have his hands behind his back. For some reason, Deputy McMaster calls this a game. You can tell that Tyler knows he is in a fix. The possibility that he is trying to play games with the already agitated deputy is very slim or non-existent. Tyler hands the deputy his phone and continues to ask why he is being apprehended. Deputy McMaster only follows up with more dire threats. He has Tyler's hands behind his back and warns him to cooperate before he ends up on the ground. As you can see, Tyler was already doing just that. After what seemed like forever, Deputy McMaster finally gives Tyler a reason for his current predicament.
Since we want to play this game,
Sir,
put your hands behind your back.
this is my phone.
Put it down.
Can you tell me what's going on?
Just put your hands behind your back before you end up on the ground.
I'm trying to drop my phone. Hello? Are you going to tell me what this is about?
You're being detained for a minute. You're matching the description of someone trying to break into people's cars.
Note that throughout the somewhat aggressive search of Tyler's person, he was not trying to struggle or engage in a physical tussle with the deputy. But no matter what he did or did not do, he probably could not have stopped what was about to happen. Right after Deputy McMaster finally tells him why he is being detained, Tyler begins to explain that he has not been doing that. Unfortunately, he is cut short by an appalling display of brutality and power abuse.
I'm not breaking anyone's car. No! I just go to work.
Put your hands behind your fucking back.
I just go to work.
You dumb bastard.
Oh my God. I just go to work.
They don't know where we are.
Help me. I just go to work.
You got that? Yeah.
I'm just going to work. Ow. Ow.
I don't know.
Ow, please.
Yeah.
I'm getting picked up from work, please.
921.
Please help me.
Shut the fuck up. Get up.
I'm going to work.
Air traffic pardon.
Ow. Ow.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Get up.
As you can see, Deputy McMaster does not even flinch. He does obviously believe that he had every right to slam Tyler to the floor like that for no valid reason. Notice that after he aggressively body slams Tyler to the ground, another officer rushes in to assist. They drag Tyler to the back of the vehicle, and you can just hear that Deputy McMaster continues to hurl insults at him. This is an utter lack of remorse on his path, not to mention the lack of empathy for the man who was wailing from his injuries. Tyler is no longer in view of the camera, but you can still hear him clearly in the background. Deputy McMaster returns to the front of the vehicle and begins to search Tyler's backpack for whatever can be considered as evidence of guilt. While doing so, he asks Tyler if there is a possibility that he would be caught on camera breaking into the car, to which Tyler responds with a no and further explains that he was just trying to get to work. Amidst the explanations, Tyler continues to plead for help, which is a clear indicator that he is in distress and may need to see a healthcare provider. It seems like these pleas for help only enrage Deputy McMaster further. He informs Tyler that he is currently detained for at least obstruction of justice.
What did I do wrong?
Hey, 348.
Please, I just came from work.
Well, you're under arrest for obstruction, at least.
How? I literally just
You didn't want to.
Dad's help.
You didn't want to fucking listen. Put your hands behind your back. That's simple. Then I told you you're going to end up on the ground. You still didn't do that.
I wasn't
Then your
trying
ass ended
to.
up on the ground, didn't it?
Tyler sticks by the story that he's going to work and denies making any attempt to break into a vehicle. As you can see, Deputy McMaster accused him of obstruction, but nothing that had transpired that morning proves beyond a doubt that Tyler was trying to obstruct justice. So, it is very uncertain as to why Deputy McMaster came to that conclusion. Clearly, Deputy McMaster wanted Tyler to obey all the vague commands without verbal objection, and because he did not do that, he had to suffer at his hands.
I wasn't trying to.
You wasn't trying to.
I wasn't
How old are you?
trying to, please.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
You're older than me. Act like a fucking man.
Now, McMaster has asserted his superiority and power. He begins to walk Tyler through everything he supposedly did wrong, which led to his detention. According to him, when a cop says to put your hands behind your back, you do it without hesitation, and only after doing so will you get the explanation you want.
I got my other headphone in my ear. Please come on. I'm just trying to get my life back together.
The first name is Chris. It's not
Can you
Christopher.
please call my dad, please?
How old are you? 29? I'm not calling your dad.
What?
I'm not calling your dad. You're 29. You're older than me. I ain't
No,
calling.
come on, please. I'm just trying to get to work. I
You can go in the back of my car. I want to be a dick.
Not fair.
I said, put your hands behind your back. You're being detained.
What do you say?
What? No. What is this about? And I was like, dude, I'll explain in just a minute.
To be fair, nothing Deputy McMaster is currently reporting is incorrect. However, he carefully fails to mention that Tyler was not an immediate threat to him. He was not armed or trying to physically evade arrest. The only resistance he did put on was verbal, which was not legally wrong as well. Nothing Tyler had done that morning warranted being slammed to the ground.
Key it up, it wouldn't go out. And I was like, fuck it, dude. Because he started walking that way. I was like, no.
Yeah.
At this point, Deputy McMaster is still high off his victory. He continues to give all the reasons why Tyler was the bad guy in the situation. It seems like a little doubt seeps into his mind, but he quickly brushes it off by asserting that he is certain that Tyler is in fact the carjacker.
Right? Dark clothing?
Yeah. I mean, it matches to a T. I'm willing to bet he's on camera.
Just want to make sure it's him. Because he didn't really have...
I can go up to that address.
Yeah, just in case he hit his head pretty good.
Deputy McMaster was clearly not capable of considering the fact that he could have been wrong. Despite matching the description, what if Tyler was not the guy? What if there would not be footage that proves this supposed guilt? Under the eyes of the law, people ought to be considered innocent and treated as such until proven otherwise. This, of course, does not apply to officers like Deputy McMaster. At every turn, Deputy McMaster had assumed the worst about his supposed suspect, but as you are about to see, he will literally run out of ideas on how to paint Tyler guilty, and his sentence will trail off into nothing.
Ask. He ever made it into a car, did he?
He was
That we know
trying.
of. Yeah, he was trying.
He was trying.
So, if it is him,
He had criminal intent all day.
yeah, criminal attempt. I was like, they said negative charges. Did you see him trying to get into a car?
I'm saying, I was like, well,
I was going to address that later. This is where he lives. Evans Mill. Maybe he's trying to scam his fucking...
Metro is clear. Glen. Give us the new address.
So he reiterates that all Tyler had to do was take his backpack off and put his hand behind his back. Again, he called it a game, and it is clear that Deputy McMaster had been treating it like one.
All you do is take his backpack off, turn around, put his hand behind his back. We wouldn't have played this game.
At this point, the paramedics promptly arrived to treat the head injury that the deputy was responsible for. Again, he coldly and very unnecessarily likens the entire incident to a game that Tyler lost.
Actually got into a car. I dropped him on his head right there.
Oh, okay, cool.
I got boo-boos too, so I'm okay. But yeah, in the back of my car. Just make sure he's... Yeah, I think that's a blood spot.
This was a gross case of power abuse, and sadly, it would take a whole year after the incident, and the body cam tape to be released before any semblance of justice would be served. No matter how delayed, shortly after the tape got out, Deputy McMaster was terminated from the Payne County Sheriff's Department. Would you even be surprised to learn that he was found to have a long history of reprimands for aggressive behavior? We certainly are not surprised. Meanwhile, Tyler Canaris had suffered a fractured clavicle, thumb, and skull. Additionally, he suffered a ruptured eardrum and a traumatic brain injury. Although he still faces a charge for obstruction of justice, he went right ahead to sue both McMaster and the Payne County Sheriff for violations of his civil rights. The federal lawsuit was filed on the 22nd of September in 2023. Not only was the detention and arrest of Tyler Canaris unlawful, but it was also unreasonable, unnecessary, and excessive. Deputy McMaster had claimed that Tyler started walking away after the initial stop, but even his own dash cam would prove otherwise. It has also been proven that Tyler Canaris had not been breaking into cars, and his lawyer has since filed a motion to dismiss the obstruction charges against him.